You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello, welcome to episode 205 of the Rusted Robot Podcast. Today, July 8th, 2018.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus of Borg. Resistance is futile.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
You're not quite, human, are you?
No, sir. I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
What are your prime directives?
Serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law.
By your command.
Here we are at the Rusted Robot headquarters. I'm your host, Sean, and with me today is...
Josh.
And his lovely wife, Kitty.
So I'm thinking we should change our numbering system.
Oh?
I think we should go to base 7.
How would we do that?
Do you work for Marvel?
No. I'm not saying restart the numbering sequence. I'm suggesting we go
Just jump to a weird number suddenly for no real reason and possibly change back later?
Well, it'll make us look more productive if we go to base 7, because 8 becomes 10. So we just divide our base 10 down. No, actually, 7 becomes 10, so we just divide it by... make it look like we have more episodes.
So 205 divided by 7, is that what we're doing? Because I don't understand what you're talking about.
You'd be multiplying.
Nope.
So divide 210 by 10, multiply it.
So you got 21.
What he says is that it would add like more zeros to the end of our episode. And
make it
look like we've made a lot more.
It'll make it look like better off.
205 is a lot of episodes.
That is a lot of episodes.
Yeah, but with this, 205... I'm going to do the math now.
Do the math right now. Live on the podcast. I didn't know he was going to bring this up, Kitty.
Yeah, people like when you randomly bring up things and then pause suddenly to do math on a podcast. It's very entertaining.
It's, what's the word for it? It's,
cathartic. I'm pretty sure everybody wishes they were doing math, and this is a release for them.
It's
right?
It's high quality entertainment is what it is.
Yeah, I agree. No,
So
we're all
we'd be in the 290s.
Okay.
But why do you want to look more productive? We're already pretty productive.
I'm just saying we could be more productive. We can
once a week is pretty productive for a podcast. A lot of podcasts do not do once a week.
In fact, the Play on Nerds podcast, our sister podcast from Jarman and Steve, they do it every 2 weeks, if they're lucky.
Yeah, that's fine.
Bi-weekly?
They do it bi-weekly, yes. But it doesn't always come out bi-weekly because of their recording schedule, and Steve has a baby, and they live in different
because people
states.
have lives.
People have lives.
We do not.
We do not.
We are here every week.
Every week.
I have life. I'm extremely busy.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Yeah.
Well, we are not.
You guys aren't busy?
I'm busy enough. So today, it's actually Saturday morning.
Yes.
July 7th. And you know what that means. You don't know what it means. Of course you wouldn't know what it means. Why would you know what it means? July 7th is the day that my baby mama, Bishop's mom, Trish, was born. So I'm gonna...
How would we know? We couldn't even guess that.
Happy birthday, Trish!
Yes, we're extending Trish happy birthday, but it's significant because today she turns 47.
47. 47.
No!
No, stop. We have to delete that. You don't put that in a podcast.
What?
People's age.
Yeah, bleep that out.
No, it's awesome because 47 is the Star Trek number.
No, you bleep that out.
She doesn't care. She's proud of her age.
You bleep that out.
Yeah, I'll bleep that out. But anyway, happy birthday, Trish.
Trish, send in a message and I'll beat him up if you want me to.
She probably won't listen to this.
Well, that's fine.
I will post this link on her Facebook page, but she does often listen to the Soul Forge podcast.
The Soul Forge.
Did you listen to last week's Soul Forge podcast?
No.
Oh, that's too bad, because I talked with 3 other guys I've known for years, and we talked about decisions and what our alternate reality versions of ourselves might be doing if we'd made different choices. So it was a quick primer on alternate reality you.
Do you get to pick, like, what universe you live in?
But we didn't go quite that deep.
Like the whole thing, like, you now live in the universe of the last movie you just watched.
I wouldn't want to live in the universe of the last movie I just watched. It was Caliber on Netflix, and no, thank you.
What's the last movie I watched? We went and saw it in theaters. That's the last thing I watched on a screen.
Did you go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, which came out yesterday?
No. But that would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be the Marvel Universe. One of us would be dead by odds.
Why? Oh, ha.
Infinity War.
I want to be pink glitter. And just blow away into the wind. Whoosh.
So, I think that was the last movie you watched.
Is it?
Infinity War, yeah.
So, yeah, you have a 50-50. The last movie I watched is Now You See Me. So, yeah, I watched that last night.
And did you enjoy it? The first one or the sequel?
The first one.
Okay.
The sequel just came out on Netflix.
Yes, it did.
And I've never seen the sequel. But it's been a while since I've seen the original, so I was going to prime myself so I can remember everything about the show.
Huh, okay.
That way I can spot anything that's like a throwback or anything like that.
You know, it's really odd. We're usually very on top of, like, seeing movies right away.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, it just came out yesterday.
Yeah. But, like, that's a thing that you guys usually do. You usually drag me
so we
to,
can,
like, opening night.
So we can do a talk about it and then insert our comments on it right here. But we didn't, so we're not.
It's usually, like, too packed with people. It's usually a Friday night, so sometimes I'm working magic.
And I find Friday night movies is bad all around because I usually fall asleep because it's been a long week. And I'm tired, and those seats are comfy if we go to the VIP lounge.
Oh, I love the VIP lounge. But a brand new popular movie would never be in there.
That's not true. Sometimes it is.
You know why they usually don't do that, though?
Tell me.
If they put the most popular movie in the less comfortable seats, it's how they can still sell the comfortable seats. Because if you have a good movie in the one with good seats, you're going to sell it anyway.
Yes.
But if you have a less than good movie in good seats, people will still go to see it so that they can sit in good seats and watch something. Because there's a lot of moviegoers who just go regularly enough that they've already seen other
popular
movies.
Show.
Right. So they're like, well, let's go and sit in the good seats and we'll watch the fill-in-blank here nothing movie.
And that is...
Oh no, Incredibles is the last movie that I went to go and see, and I would live in that universe and I'd be fine. Incredibles 2.
And how was that?
It was excellent.
Yeah?
There were some parts, you know how they were talking about the seizure warning?
Yes.
That is totally a thing. I could completely see how people would have seizures. It caused me to have a little bit of a headache. I could see people who have vertigo, feeling like queasy or sick. And Mina hated it so much, she had to sit on my lap, and I had to cover her eyes until that segment was over. Wow. And then it happened again and again and again and again from a couple different places, and it was very sudden, and you didn't know that it was coming.
So did you get to watch the movie, or did you have to take care of the daughter the whole time?
I got to watch all of the movie. It's just any of the parts with the... Because the big bad guy uses a screen to hypnotize people.
Okay.
So it is only the scenes where people are being hypnotized...
That causes the seizures?
That causes the thing, because there's black and white... There's, like, really stark black and white checkerboard pattern in a swirl pattern swirling, and it's on multiple screens, and sometimes they're swirling in separate directions.
Ouch. Okay, so...
And sometimes it covers the entire...
Theater screen?
The entire theater screen.
Wow.
And also it occasionally flashes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it's horrible.
Yeah.
And Mina hated it.
And how did Damien like it?
Damien was okay with it, but Mina's already sensitive to, like, light and sound, so I think...
it was too much for her.
Yeah, she hated it.
So...
She liked the rest of the movie, though.
What would you give the movie out of 10 rivets?
Just considering that it has a thing in it that might cause, like, serious harm to people, and even make, like, the average person kind of feel sick or headachy, I would give it maybe, like, a 7.5.
Okay.
Because it's still a really, really good movie, but, like, you know, you might fall down and vomit, so...
Okay.
That's unappealing.
This is a good movie, but it might make you sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you might be a parent who's dealing with a child who gets really suddenly very sick. Or angry, so...
Fair enough.
Yeah, that takes a huge amount off of it for me. It was still quite funny, though. It was very charming.
Worth waiting 10 or 15 years for the sequel?
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't mind waiting. Like, I was never promised an Incredibles 2.
Right.
So I was like, whatever. And then when they're like, oh, we're going to make Incredibles 2, I was like, okay, I like the first one, I'll watch that. But I'm not one of those people who was like, if there's children in that theater, there will be hell to pay because I've waited forever. There was mostly children in the theater.
I bet.
The adult people I know who posted, there better not be children in the theater. I didn't even see them.
Yeah.
So, and I think I went on opening night with Mina's Girl Guides troupe.
Okay.
And I snuck Damien in with me. It was great.
That sounds great. Okay, so you definitely recommend it to people who don't get sick.
Yeah, maybe
because
watch
of
it on like a home screen though instead of the theater screen, because it really is very jarring, especially the one scene where it covers the entire theater screen. It's awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I don't know how sensitive our microphone is. No, don't worry about it. It'll be a nice ambiance. The window's open because it's hot in here. There's a breeze blowing. And your wind chimes are tinkling a little bit. I don't know if the thing is picking that up, but if you guys are hearing that, that's what that is. Okay.
It's less irritating when you know what something is.
Well, that's why I explained it.
Yeah.
Yes. Much like Josh's slurping of the tea, which was really loud for some reason, and he did it twice in a row. Which I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't usually do it so loud.
I know, and I don't think he noticed. But
no, I did not. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. you put your face down right by the thing there, by the microphone, and you slurped it twice. I'm like, I don't think he even know he did that.
No, probably not.
So I just
We drink tea so avidly that it's become second nature.
Yes.
It's like breathing. Except you don't want to breathe in tea.
No, that would be bad.
The Rusted Robot does not condone breathing liquid. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't breathe the liquid.
Unless you have a very specific liquid.
Yeah, like embryonic fluid.
Well, The Abyss. Anybody remember The Abyss?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I remember The Abyss. The Abyss is a great movie. You would love it, Sean. I can't believe you've never seen it.
I believe I have it on Laserdisc at home, but I've never actually watched it.
Really?
You should watch it. It's really good. It's got very early CG effects.
Yep.
Which were fantastic for the time. In fact, some later CGs look worse.
Yeah, a James Cameron production.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really well done. It's almost kind of like a thriller because
yeah,
they
I
talk
know
about the
I've
thing a
seen
lot.
Parts of it. I just
And like you hear the thing a lot, but you don't really see a lot of it.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of perfect. It's perfectly done.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll have a viewing party one of these days.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I would watch it again.
And I may have seen it and just not remember.
Maybe.
Because it's an 80s movie and it's been a long time. So, anyway, before we start the podcast, I just wanted to take this time. And you know what we got this week? We actually got a PayPal donation in appreciation for the show.
Sweet!
Yeah, we haven't actually had a PayPal donation of any kind for about 3 years. So I wanted to take this time and just thank Brian K. for his $10 donation to the podcast.
Well, thank you very much, Brian.
Woo,
we appreciate
Brian!
We appreciate it. Yeah, just take some of the load off Sean. Just poor Sean's been paying for this entire thing.
And actually,
Poor sucker.
because yeah, I know. But now, and now that we're in July, my credit card is going to get hit again for the hosting fee for the yearly cost. So if anybody else would like to donate, they can do it through PayPal, therustedrobot@gmail.com. Just PayPal that. And I actually have a Patreon account that I set up years ago. Nobody's ever put any money into it. It's patreon.com/DarthVaderloo. So just thought I'd let that.
So we have no patrons?
We have no patrons.
We have no patron liege?
Nothing. No. So it's just poor old Sean paying for all the stuff.
Who would like to be our patron liege and give us
a $2 monthly donation? Or $1 per episode. That's what Dan Carlin asks for on the Hardcore History thing. If you like this show, Dan and Josh, or Dan and whoever his buddy is there who co-produces the show, asks $1 an episode.
If you think the show you just heard is worth $1, Dan and Ben would love to have it. $1 a show. It's all we ask.
And that's not a lot because they come out twice a year.
If that.
Right. So
when he does his research on some of the bigger ones, it's like a year between episodes.
Yeah. Have you ever
And
listened
like
to
$1 is an easy amount to pay though.
It is.
And then also like it's easier to get like $1 from many people than it is to get $5 from one person.
Yes, true.
So
yeah, but I just wanted to take this time and thank Brian for his patronage. It's really appreciated more than he knows. Every little bit helps support the hosting costs because it definitely adds up over years.
Mm.
But anyway, what else should we talk about? Since we haven't really talked about anything from the week yet.
So I got robot news.
Well, okay, let's do some robot news.
Do we have a jingle? I think we have a jingle. Do we not?
We don't have a jingle for robot news.
We need a jingle. Get on that.
You know, Jason Zelda often does awesome jingles, like he does for Celebrity Death and the Jump City theme.
Yeah.
So,
I
actually,
quite like them. We listened to them all the one time, and it was great.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Jason Zelda.
JasonZelda.com.
Is that really what...
He's
got a website?
He's got a website.
That's amazing.
He's put a lot of stuff in for us back in the day.
Very cool.
Okay, so this one is about the MIT Cheetah 3. Okay. We've seen the Boston Dynamics adorable Spot Mini climb stairs before, right?
Yeah.
But he uses a camera.
Okay. To see, like stereoscopic vision?
So he knows, all right, here's the next step, here's the next step. The Cheetah 3, which we've seen lots of videos of MIT kicking it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really wouldn't want that to have cameras. Not if you're going to be kicking it.
They've taught it to run upstairs. Without cameras.
How does that work?
Through complicated sciencey stuff.
Oh, tell me more.
The articles I've been able to find do not give me enough technical information.
Okay. I guess because then people could copy what they did.
Yeah, but they're a university, so they don't care. They're going to eventually publish it all
they're
anyways.
They're going to publish it all anyway.
Suffice it to say that the robots are becoming more...
Mobile
and autonomous.
Autonomous.
Yeah, I didn't put an N in there for some reason. Anyways, autonomous. This is great for anybody who wants their robot horse.
Yeah.
Me. I want a robot horse so bad.
Or a robot unicorn.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
That's a horse with a horn on top.
Yes.
Same thing.
Could we have a robot zebra?
No.
Oh.
You just paint it.
Okay.
Well, now you've thrown me off track.
Oh.
I was going to say something profound and deep, but Sean screwed it up, so the wisdom is lost to the ages.
Man, oh man. The humanity.
It's a cool video.
Yeah.
You should go check it out online.
Okay.
I think we will link to it at the end or something.
Yeah, if we remember to do that. We'll post it on the Facebook page for the rest of
But yeah, so it looks like your standard robot dog horse shaped body that they have. It looks awesome.
And it can run upstairs without a camera.
It can run upstairs without camera. You can push it around and it won't fall over.
So far, it doesn't fight back.
Yeah, so far.
Is there any use for it, do you see, potentially?
I want to ride it.
Are you going to strap bombs to it and send it into insurgents' camps?
That'd be such a waste of a
one of the
robot.
idea is if they can make it quieter, because these things are so far quite noisy. Is if they can make it quieter.
Isn't it gas-powered?
Some of them. So the idea is that they can go where soldiers go, where you can't bring a vehicle.
Ah, okay.
So you could load it with packs?
Make it a pack mule.
I could see that.
For like food and med kits and possibly extra ammo.
Or you can do it inside of like a building, so they can walk around and deliver things to people.
Could it be a rescue kind of thing for
They've thought of that.
Okay.
But that's...
I imagine with a gas-powered engine on some of them, though, it would be very hot. Like, you wouldn't want to put an injured person on top of it to get them out of there quickly, because they also get burned.
Well, you just put a platform on top that isn't directly touching the engine component.
That's a good idea.
Also, but like if you're using the indoor version, you would probably use an electric version.
And why would this be better than an actual horse or dog?
Because it would be smaller, first of all.
Because you don't want to take a horse into, let's say, a volcano.
Or a battlefield.
Ah, yeah, in a volcano would be great.
They've already used them for some light research into destructive environments.
Oh, neat.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so the progress of these pack mule dog style robots are moving along.
Look at that. Actual robot news on the Rusted Robot podcast. That is impressive, my friend.
Well, I figured
I like it.
it's been a while since we covered it, so you know.
It has been.
I like when there's talk about robots.
Well,
I think it's one of my favorite things about the Rusted Robot.
And that was the original intention of the show. And then we pretty much did a robot profile on every robot we could think of. And so now it's just random robot news when we have a chance. Yep, very cool. So on that exciting news, let's turn it around and make it sad for a moment. I know. It's not something that I enjoy reporting, but it is significant to the world of geekery. So let's...
I think I know what you're going to talk about, because it is quite sad.
It's our celebrity death of the week.
Keep saying it. Are you a doctor?
She's dead, Jim.
This week we lost Spider-Man and Doctor Strange co-creator Steve Ditko at the age of 90. So I will pull up the article here and read about his accomplishments and contributions to the world of pop culture. This is from comicbook.com. Legendary comic book creator Steve Ditko, who co-created Spider-Man and Doctor Strange with Stan Lee, has died at the age of 90, the Hollywood Reporter confirmed. A cause of death has not yet been announced. Ditko was found dead in his Manhattan studio on June 29th and is believed to have died 2 days prior to his discovery. The famed Marvel Comics artist has no known survivors and is believed to have never married. Ditko is responsible for imagining Spider-Man's iconic red and blue costume, as well as his trademark web shooters. With Lee, Ditko penned such enduring foes as the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Sandman, and the Vulture, all of whom have appeared in numerous Spider-Man movies. After the pair teamed on Amazing Fantasy 15, Spider-Man's first appearance, a newly launched Marvel Comics spun the character off into his own book, The Amazing Spider-Man, which has published more than 800 issues since 1963. Lee and Ditko then conjured up psychedelic crime fighter Dr. Stephen Strange in the pages of Strange Tales 110. Ditko continued on Amazing Spider-Man until issue 38, after a tenure that saw the creation of such classic characters as Aunt May and Uncle Ben, J. Jonah Jameson, Gwen Stacy, Norman and Harry Osborn, Betty Brant, Mysterio, Electro, and Kraven the Hunter. On his time with Strange Tales until issue 146 in 1966, Ditko brought to life such seminal Doctor Strange players as Dormammu, Clea, Nightmare, Wong, the Ancient One, and Carl Mordo. And other characters co-created by Ditko include Hulk enemies Glenn Talbot and Samuel Stearns, aka the Big-Brained Leader. Lee and Ditko famously split for reasons that were never entirely identified, and in 2017, Lee recounted how the pair of comic book creators clashed over Lee's decision to reveal the identity of Spider-Man's arch-enemy, the Green Goblin, as the father of Peter Parker's best friend. So
he was an amazing artist. It's very sad to have lost him.
Yes, it is. Definitely a cultural icon in the comic book world.
A lot of the iconic stuff, like you were mentioning, particularly now that a lot of the lesser stuff is coming out. Because, like, you ask 5 years ago, the general public, who's the Vulture?
They wouldn't know.
They wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm. True.
They're like, I don't know, some guy that likes dead things.
Unless they saw the 60s cartoon.
Yeah, but even then, like, how many people...
Like, of the general population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you ask my mom, she knows who the Vulture is now.
Because of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of his stuff is finally coming to the fore, so that's, like, just everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
I never heard of him until the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah. Like, that... I've had, like, strangers say that to me.
That's kind of awesome.
That they've come to bargain?
Yeah, they walked into the office and they said, Dormammu, I have come to bargain.
And they know you're a geek, or they just say it?
They just say it.
They're just awesome people.
Wow, okay.
And this was like a 70-year-old woman coming in.
No kidding.
She was coming in to buy a parking pass.
Yeah.
I just happened to be there, and she said it, and Donna, who had no idea what was happening.
That's pretty fantastic.
I like this. That's cool.
I wonder if there was like a really sweet little lady that came by my store the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was riding the elevator and she was like, "Ooh, a comic store!" And then she came inside.
Comic store? Where is it?
Oh, it's in the basement of the 101 Mall.
And what is it called?
It is called Jump City. It's at 38 Pine Street North, Timmins, Ontario, in Canada. Jump City, Jump City, City, Jump City. Timmins, Ontario, Canada.
Oh, she saw it while she was getting off the elevator.
Yeah, the glass elevator.
Huh. So what floor is it on?
The basement.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I should check that out sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should have called it the Comic Dungeon.
It already had its name before.
Oh, that's true, because you were in a different location, 229 Pine Street South.
Yeah, but also part of the good thing about calling it Jump City is that it's the name lends itself to multiple different things. Like, it just sounds like it's full of energy, and not everybody puts together that it's the city protected by the Teen Titans.
Right, because if you didn't tell me that, I wouldn't know either.
Yeah, but a lot of people just think, oh, what a fun-sounding name.
And you never see anybody jumping around in there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic.
Actually, they can now. In the old Jump City, we used to yell out, "No jumping in Jump City."
Oh.
Because the floor would shake and then our statues would shake.
No jumping in Jump City?
Yeah.
Is that kind of like swiper, no swiping?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Gotcha.
But they can jump around in it now because we're now in a really nice, stable location.
You are in a very nice, stable location.
We are.
Yes, you are. And I was there actually last weekend after we recorded the podcast because you guys were doing some kind of Magic the Gathering
yes,
push.
the open house.
Yeah, tell me more about that because Josh made me sign up and he gave me a starter deck and he taught me how to play. And I'd always said for years, I don't care about stupid card games.
Yeah, but it's like...
But he made me do it. And we played 3 games. I actually won the first one.
Yeah,
and then
it's like the chess of Crazy Eights.
Yeah.
It's just a card game with strategy.
See, I always thought it would be too complicated and hard for me to learn.
I know. Everybody that I spoke to who is a big Magic buff at my store, I think sometimes they don't always realize that I play until they wound up getting to know me. So sometimes when I run into other people who love Magic, who seek out my store because we contain many things of the geekery world, including Magic, they come in and they start explaining things to me about Magic and often tell me how it's kind of complicated and I might not like it.
Surprise.
And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I've been playing since high school, so thanks for just assuming I have no idea.
Because you're just a stupid girl? Yeah. Is that what they think?
Well, no.
Oh.
Some of them just think it's just, well, clearly I play Magic, so I'll bet nobody else in this room plays Magic.
One of those. Okay.
Yeah. They often just assume everybody around them also does not play Magic.
Okay, makes sense.
But some do specifically think it's because I'm a girl. But that's just because, for whatever reason, it tends to draw more boy players.
Yes.
I don't totally know why. There are girl players.
I don't think I saw any when I played last weekend, although I can't remember.
There weren't a lot of people in at all.
No.
So they came in shortly after you left, though. I had like maybe 5 or 6 people come in.
Okay.
Some of them are children. I find children, their numbers seem to be split like 50% boy, 50% girl will play Magic. So I think it maybe just is like an adult thing.
Maybe.
Could also be a cultural thing.
It could be. It's hard to tell because there's no...
Like, when I was starting playing Magic, no girl would admit to anything geeky at all.
Back in the day.
Like, no. I don't know this Star Wars you're talking about.
Even though they probably did.
And I'm like, no, I sat with you and your parents and watched it, because we all sat with my parents, your parents, we all watched it. The parents were playing cards. Like, I know you've seen the movie, and you know the characters. No, I've never seen it.
Because
it could be.
Because it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but as time progresses and, more people are willing to admit that they enjoy geekery, to now it is cool.
Yeah, it'd be hard to tell, too, because, like, there's no control. Like, we'd need groups of people to experiment what it is that has the effect. But generally, there are less female adult Magic players, but children seem equally interested in it.
Okay. Well, it turns out it wasn't that hard to learn.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed it, and I would play again.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough.
Because it's fun, right?
Despite my own misgivings and thoughts that it might be too complicated for me to understand, it wasn't.
Yeah, because it's not super hard, because, like, the whole premise of the game is you're a wizard, and you're a wizard, and you can both conjure spells or creatures, and you try to kill each other.
Yeah, there is a giant section of lore behind it.
Oh, I bet.
But you don't need the lore to play.
Yeah, there's even books. There's novels, but I've never read them, and I don't really care to. I do like fantasy, but, like, I just don't want to spend that much of my time for a card game I already understand and enjoy. So.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily need the background.
You don't, no.
Right.
It's just fun.
Yeah. Hey, so we've got a trailer here for a documentary called Wolfman's Got Nards. Let's go ahead and play that.
It's just something that I've always known. I can always go back to it. It's helped me through some really hard times.
That emotional comfort of coming home.
That safe net when I didn't feel safe.
It takes me back to my childhood every single time.
It's like hearing that great rock song when you get your first kiss or something. You always are going to remember it.
How many of you had never seen Monster Squad before tonight? You're welcome.
The seed for the movie was I want to do the Little Rascals Meet the Universal Monsters.
Scaring the hell out of kids seemed like a great idea, and then the laughs played against that.
It was a crazy time. Everything happened very fast.
This is probably the biggest thing I'm ever going to do. I didn't know that this would be such a formative beginning.
When Dracula lifted her up,
he hissed at me.
I didn't have a lot of work to do because she was actually terrified.
On an opening night, we went to all the theaters that it was playing in.
I will not forget that.
It was a huge hit, and by it, I mean the Lost Boys.
There was 7 or 8 people in the theater.
And then it disappeared.
I never got the sense that this movie was finding a new audience or that its original audience were enjoying it again.
The first time I ever saw Monster Squad,
I was at a sleepover party with a friend of mine. It was on HBO.
Every time we go to the video store, that's what I'd rent.
I even had a bootleg DVD.
The word got out.
Everything we had seen up till then had all been kid stuff, and this was the first taste of something dangerous.
These kids are real kids.
we were a part of the squad. We went to school with them, and we are them.
This movie resonates.
They put up the ticket saying Monster Squad Reunion.
It sold out real fast. Wait, you know this movie?
I did try to start my own Monster Squad.
We never actually performed any jobs.
You find lifelong friends because you have this one weird thing in common that nobody else knows about.
This is a zine I did. It's called I Had Rudy.
Wow.
What a really pleasant surprise that this seed that we planted grew into something.
It's like shooting a basket in 1987 and then it doesn't go in until 20 years later.
Now, have you ever seen the actual film Monster Squad?
I have seen Monster Squad.
Nope.
You have not. Okay. Well, I remember watching it as a kid. It came out in 1987, and I probably watched it on TV whenever TV movies came out after.
I'm kind of surprised I hadn't seen it then, because 87.
Yeah.
That's only like 2 years after I was born. I've seen many movies that were like roughly 5 years before I was born, because that just...
Yeah,
you know,
timing.
they're the movies that were in...
VHS.
Yeah, they're the movies that were available for rent in the grocery store. So I'm surprised that I never wound up with it.
Yeah, me too. So anyway, a few months ago, I listened to a different podcast where they actually reviewed the film, and I was like, that's the name of this movie? Because I'd always remembered the line, Wolfman's got Nards, and I remembered that they had to sacrifice a virgin, and the virgin they sacrificed wasn't actually a virgin, and blah, blah, blah. So, long story short, I finally found out the name, and I told my buddy Renee, I said, do you have this movie? Because Renee's got all the movies. And of course he had it. So we watched it the other night this week, and I hadn't seen it in probably almost 30 years. It's pretty cheesy.
Silly?
It's silly. It's good still. I liked it. I'm glad I saw it. I don't need to see it for another 25 or 30 years. But the Wolfman's Got Nards documentary, I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, it looks like a movie I would enjoy. I enjoy cheesy, scary, kind of family movies.
It was one of the ones, they had all the creatures. They had Dracula, they had Frankenstein, they had the Wolfman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and
Did they have a mummy?
they had a mummy as well. But what they had to do was change the looks of all the creatures so as not to get sued by Universal Studios.
Yeah,
Oh, that's genius.
Because while the common... So yeah, well, since most of them are in the public domain, like they can use Dracula. They just can't use the classic look of Dracula.
Exactly. So they wanted to avoid the whole lawsuit and whatnot. So it's still a good movie. You should go see it. I tried to buy it on Amazon, but it's a crazy, ridiculous price because it's not currently
And it's
in
a cult
production.
classic now.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously popular among the people who have seen it, and
Yeah.
also probably had a low-run production.
It
like,
failed horribly at the theater, but it's
so they probably
become a
didn't make
classic.
tons and tons of copies of it, though, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't have the production figures in front of me. Yeah. But it's
It did
definitely...
really well on VHS, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's where it made most of its fan base, right?
Yeah.
People,
Guess.
people renting it, buying it.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Well, you're definitely due for a watch of that. It's a classic.
I think I'd probably enjoy it. Can we get the kids to watch it? They love a lot of old 80s things.
Yeah.
They love Gremlins.
Yeah. So it's worth watching. Definitely show your kids. It's not that scary.
No.
So it's good. All right. So, we are on the ESO network.
We are.
And you can also listen to us on the website, esonetwork.com.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just go to therustedrobot.podbean.com to listen to us. We're on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and all that good stuff. Did you know we are also on YouTube?
We're on YouTube?
Yes, you can listen to us there. It's just the episode art plus our witty dialogue podcast. Just look up my name, Sean Vanderloo, and subscribe, and all of our episodes are right there.
Neat.
It's pretty cool. And also, because we're on the ESO network, we often play a promo for a different podcast on that same network. So here, right now, for your listening pleasure, is the promo for We Podcast and We Know Things.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a very special commercial for We Podcast and We Know Things.
Wow, a commercial?
Yes, Sam, a commercial. You do this to me every time. Anyway, we are We Podcast and We Know Things, the single source for all of your nerdy news in gaming, TV, film, music, and all things pop culture. Heck, even wrestling. We're basically spreading the good word of nerd one episode at a time.
Check us out here on the ESO Podcast Network and wherever fine podcasts are, including the iOS podcast app, CastBox, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to keep up with all the goings-on in the nerdy world. Now back to your ESO Network podcast.
Who's better than us?
And isn't that worth looking at? Checking out?
Yeah, all right. At least this time you told us what the name was.
Yeah, because I pre-looked it up so that when I post it in there later during the editing process, we'll have had something that we'd actually talk about and we knew what we were saying.
Well, no, because you just gave us a title and then instantly jumped over to it. We have no idea what this podcast is.
But you will when it comes out.
They know things, though.
They podcast.
Well, yeah, I'm going to check it out now.
Yeah, it's a cool title.
But you're always springing things on us.
Well, I don't have it in front of me. I'm at your house. I don't have my computer here.
Yeah, but if you knew which one it was, you could have loaded it up on your phone, sent it to me in an email, sent it to me as a...
Oh, that's too complicated. And speaking of other podcasts, there is a Twitter group that I'm in, the PWA.
Mm-hmm.
So hashtag the PWA. It's a bunch of like-minded podcasters, and we all share each other's links and whatnot. Well, last week we talked about Toys R Us and its closing and how sad that was. And actually, one of the podcasters on there, the Lazy Stoner, you can look him up at the Lazy Stoner. The and lazy have or it's the _lazy_stoner. So at the Lazy Stoner. He hasn't had a podcast yet. We've all been talking about him. He's been recording episodes and re-recording, and he hasn't put out his first one yet, but it's much anticipated. And he actually has a feedback comment from our episode. So we actually got email.
Get what we got, Mr. Roboto. It's another email.
Okay, well,
here it is.
Hello, this is the Lazy Stoner. You might be wondering why you're listening to me right now. I had made a comment to Sean on Twitter about the Toys R Us bankruptcy, and he asked me to send in a comment about it. Josh had mentioned that it was bad management that was the reason why they ultimately went under, and while that was most certainly a contributing factor, the actual reason why they went under was because they were bought out by several private equity firms and saddled with somewhere between $6 and $7 billion worth of debt. So ultimately, after that, they, instead of turning a profit, they had to service that debt and pay it down. By the time they filed bankruptcy, I think they still had about $5 billion of that debt left. So yeah, that was the cause of their bankruptcy and ultimately having to close all their stores in the U.S. over the past weekend. I am quoting most of that from memory, and I'm by no means an expert on the subject. I don't remember the names of the firms that bought them out. But yeah, definitely a subject worth looking into and something you'll probably see a lot of in the future of, at least mildly successful businesses that are getting bought up and saddled with huge amounts of debt. Yeah, thank you, Sean, for inviting me to comment, and thanks, and talk to you later. Bye.
And so that's from the Lazy Stoner. And what do you think about that?
Well, so I didn't know about the venture capitalist crap.
I hadn't heard about it either.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise me. As a business model, their business model is destroy other companies and suck the money out and then just leave them with debt.
Which is what they did.
Yeah. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But even that, they were already struggling beforehand. They weren't phenomenally successful. In our current economic model, it's expand or die. If you're sitting there stagnant, just making profit but not expanding,
doesn't really work out too well for you.
For some reason, that's considered a failure.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But definitely appreciate the Lazy Stoner sending us an email.
I do, and he's got some good solid points in there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, if we wanted to expand on it further and do more research, we could.
We could.
We don't actually do that here at the Rusted Robot Podcast, but sometimes we do.
Well, we do spontaneous research on absolutely minor points that we don't really need to do.
I do research.
Yes, you do.
I'm good at research.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you have stuff that you've researched that you could tell us about right now?
Well, hold on. I got I'm still working on this segment. Don't jump to a new segment yet.
We're not jumping?
We're not jumping
we're
in.
not jumping.
No.
It's fine.
The Lazy Stoner. We're still talking about him and his comment.
Yeah, and follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Are you on
So-
Twitter? You're not on Twitter.
I'm not on any social media.
I don't
You know that.
I do know that.
He had a nice voice.
He does. So you got a good podcasting voice. So
We're definitely looking forward to his show.
don't worry too much about being perfect, because Lord knows we are not.
What? All right, you're right. You got me. Yeah, we're not.
I'm perfect.
Yeah, that's just you though.
And you're not on every episode, so.
No.
But
You're
yeah,
not
so
that
don't worry about getting it perfect. Get it out there. Get the flow of it.
Yeah. That's
Don't re-record and re-record. You're just pushing yourself back. Get it out there. We believe in you. You got a good voice for it.
He does. I'm jealous of his voice.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah.
I got a terrible voice. I don't like my voice.
Nobody likes their voice.
Nobody likes their own voice. There's been studies on it.
Yeah. So, anyway, we appreciate all the emails from our listeners. And if anybody else wants to send us an email, therustedrobot@gmail.com. And follow us on Twitter @therustedrobot. So you said you had some news.
Yeah, I do. So, I don't know. Are you guys comic book fans?
Sometimes.
Do either of you follow Batman, like, since they started doing the Rebirth?
No, I do not follow the DC universe. They reset it too often to be bothered.
Yeah.
I've
This-
got to wait 6 months and it'll be a new universe.
Totally possible. But you know how sometimes you come across a series and that particular way that it is drawn or written is pretty perfect?
And it just gets you?
Yeah. So the current one is being written by Tom King.
Yes, I remember actually, you told us about this a couple weeks ago. Holy Matrimony Batman issue
Yes.
number 50, right?
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
That is what we're
came out
talking
July 4th, right?
Yeah, it came out July 4th. That was the release date, Batman and Catwoman's wedding.
Much
There
anticipated.
was like a huge lead up to it. There's prelude comics that came out beforehand that were about individual characters and their interactions with other characters before the wedding.
Yeah.
Also, interestingly, all of those prelude comics to the wedding, plus the wedding comic, plus all of the art, like the extra art that was being done as covers, or even just like the ideas for Catwoman's wedding dress, are going to be available as one large collection, and it looks like a photo album.
Ooh, that's
like a
fancy.
wedding photo album.
I like that.
It looks really nice, and it's not super expensive either. I think it's like $20 American, and if
when
you
does
get the
that come out?
hardcover edition, that looks like leather and lace.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks like a real photo album.
When do we get it?
It's not available for another couple of months.
Okay.
But that one's only like $10 more. It's only $30.
Nice.
And it includes like all of them. But anyway, I'm waiting until that comes out because I'm purchasing that because we wound up selling a lot of our prelude issues.
I bet you did.
So I didn't get the chance to get them. Plus, I haven't been following it as Rebirth because even though it's a really good story, I just like didn't hop on the bandwagon at the time. I'm subscribed to like 13 comic books. So
That's a lot of comic books.
yeah, and like adding Batman to it, there's a lot of crossovers with other characters. So.
Well, sure, yeah.
And this one is particularly really well written, so I would feel the need to like read all the other ones that connect to it.
I get that.
And I might eventually, but I think I'll get it as a trade just because it's easier. Anyway, this particular thing that I'm going to talk about is an article that came out from the New York Times.
Okay, that's a well-respected newspaper.
It is a well-respected newspaper. First of all, they seldom ever comment on anything that has to do with pulp culture.
Okay.
So, the one time that they decided, I'm going to write about a comic book, I'm going to write about Batman and Catwoman's wedding.
Because it's a big deal.
Because it is a big deal. It has an effect on many people's lives. Because many people care about Batman and his doings.
So it hit the mainstream media in the New York Times.
It did. The unfortunate thing is this guy named George Jean Gustines wrote this article with a spoiler in the headline.
A spoiler in the headline.
A spoiler in the headline. I'm not going to say what it is, though, because I don't believe in giving out spoilers even after the comic has come out, because I know my readers haven't actually read the comic yet.
Okay. So
Even though many people wanted to read it the day that they got it, not everybody's had the chance to make it to their local comic shop.
Of course.
A lot of people haven't picked it up from their file yet.
Yeah, or people who have picked it up from their file, they're working, they're waiting until
right.
a specific
so
time.
you don't want to be a spoiler alert person.
Yeah, or even like I am waiting until the photo album comes out
course.
to read all of it together.
Yes, makes sense.
So I don't believe in giving out spoilers, but this person did it in the title of their article. So even if you're just skimming through whatever news feed you go through...
There was a spoiler in the headline.
In the headline, which is awful. That is an awful practice. And it also came out July 1st.
Came out July 1st.
July 1st is when this article was written. So somebody was
days
kind enough...
before July 4th.
Yeah, somebody was kind enough to actually give him the comic ahead of time
Oh.
so that he could read it and then also write the article. So he
Oh,
got
boy.
it before the end of June.
Oh, jeez.
Because then he read it and then also wrote this article for it to be published on
Yeah.
July 1st, 2018. The comic was not even available for purchase on the shelves of comic book shops until July 4th.
Right. You told
And
me.
that is a terrible, terrible no-no.
So
worse than that, July 4th is an American holiday.
Yeah, so like
So
they couldn't
the
even
Americans
go...
couldn't get it until the 5th.
Yeah.
So he spoiled the outcome of the story of the comic book
Yes.
a week before anybody else could even read the thing.
Yes.
That is horrible.
It's a horrible, horrible jerk move.
Well,
It'd
you-
be like going to watch, I don't know...
Star Wars and then telling your friends that Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yeah.
Damn it! You didn't put a spoiler alert.
Oh,
But, like, could you imagine if somebody let you watch the movie, like, a week or two in advance, and then you wrote it in, like, New York Times, and put Darth Vader is Luke's father in the title?
Right. So you know what that means? I am no longer going to purchase any issues of the New York Times.
Yeah.
I'm going to cancel my subscription right now.
Well, that's terrible.
Yes, it is. It's awful.
Apparently it's a well-written article, but, like...
That Gene Guthrie guy is a horrible writer, and he should never have been able...
Gus-
Whatever it is.
Okay, well, so you gotta remember, don't blame the writer of the article. Headlines are not written by the writer. Headlines are written by the editor.
True.
Okay.
So the editor read the story.
And is like,
Uh,
this is the thing that should be the headline?
Yeah.
Either way, it's bad news.
Yeah. It's terribly done. That's terribly done.
That's
awful. Batman, Catwoman wedding has issues would have been a better headline.
Yeah.
Because we knew it was going to have issues. It's got a comic book about it.
Yeah. Also, the play on words with, like, that it is
Yeah.
an issue of a comic. I get it.
Yeah. See?
That's very clever.
Yeah.
See, I can be an editor for the New York Times.
Yeah.
You could be, and I think you
I
would
was
do
just,
a better job.
I was really upset because my sister, who has been following the entire run,
Mm-hmm.
like she's been reading all of the Batman rebirths. She has also read all of the preludes to the wedding. She's like all caught up on it. She was super hyped
Yeah.
for their wedding because like this is her couple of all of the. Of
Comic
all
book
of not even just comic books, she like of all of the ones that she ships in the world
Mhm.
of fandom at all, Catwoman and Batman has been her thing
Since the beginning.
since like the dawn of time.
This is your sister Julie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she absolutely adores them. And this spoiler,
Does she subscribe to the New York Times?
no, but she found the feed. And she found it before the comic was available.
Ooh, ouch.
Like the day before we were allowed to sell it. So like we had them in, but like we don't read them until the day that they're released.
Of course.
Also, she just doesn't have time to read it. She read it the day after release, so July 5th. Just because we're busy.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, she had it all spoiled for her beforehand.
Sadness.
Yeah. It's just, it's lame.
It's
why
lame.
do people do that? And
But-
why is it a thing now? Why does everybody think...
Because everybody wants to be first.
Well, that's irritating.
Yes, it is.
Like, people who pop up on a thing and they just write first as their top comment.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares.
You know what I find the funniest is when somebody pops up, it's first, but they're the second comment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Because people suck.
It's like, you have 5 letters and an exclamation point to put in, and somebody beat you to it. The best is when it's like a giant block of text that beats them to it.
And the thing is, they haven't even read the article. They just go to the comments to do first.
Yeah, but like, I think that's super wrong.
It is.
And like, I do not
Approve.
believe bullying is a good thing.
Well, it's not.
But I remember back in the day when somebody did something like that, you could hit them.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes violence is the answer.
The Rested Robot podcast
not
does not
in most
approve of
cases.
violence. or
The
recommend
Rested Robot podcast does not condone violence.
But you do.
And for the most part, I really don't either, but stop spoiling things. I will hit you. I will hit you probably with a small object, like a flip-flop.
Or a pencil.
Or a thing of socks, balled up socks.
Okay, with quarters in them?
No, just regular balled
Okay.
ups. I don't want to hurt them. I just want them
oh.
to stop.
Okay.
I want to humiliate them.
Oh. Okay, speaking of things that aren't spoiled and that sound really, really yummy, Are you ready for this?
Yes, of course.
Comicbookresources.com has an article that I shared on the Facebook page for Rusted Robot, Funko to serve up breakfast and nostalgia with FunkOs cereal. I'll just read the whole article because it's well written. Saturday mornings will never be the same again because Funko is bringing back the best part of your childhood breakfasts. Cereal boxes with a collectible toy inside. The famous collectible toy company has unveiled its newest line of products, FunkOs, a collection of cereal boxes that contain sugary goodness and fun toys in the same packaging for a perfect morning surprise. FunkOs are a selection of cereals meant to evoke all the nostalgia of old school breakfasts. The cereals come in 6 different boxes, each featuring original art that is both new and a throwback to the 80s. The cereals themselves are said to change the color of your milk, and they come with their own collectible mini pop figure. The first line of boxes features some of your favorite characters from Lord of the Rings, Gollum, and A Nightmare on Elm Street's Freddy Krueger, to Megan and Funko's own mascot, Freddy Funko. Funko's various cereal boxes will be on sale this summer, so get ready to put on your favorite Saturday morning cartoon, pour yourself some milk, and enjoy a brand new toy. So in the article, they've got pictures of them. They've got Freddy Funko for the FunkOs cereal.
Very cute.
That's their mascot, just a little red-headed boy with a crown. They've got Cuphead.
Oh yeah, Cuphead's really popular.
They've got Freddy Krueger. They've got Jason Voorhees cereal. They've got Mega Man and Gollum.
That's
So,
pretty fun.
That's awesome. I remember being a kid and getting the toys inside the cereal, and you had to get there before your brother did, so you could get the toy. And you can't get them anymore because they don't put cereal toys in them anymore.
When I was little, the toys that came in my cereal, because I'm younger than the two of you, were straws or bowls or spoons that changed color.
Oh, I remember.
They were not real toys.
No. Captain Crunch used to have these things that you'd take your pencil and you'd have to color on it to reveal the thing. And there was tattoos. I remember Shreddies had, when the Next Generation came out.
Yeah.
I never got any of the little ships. My buddy Andrew had all the ships. I never had any of the prizes.
it was Shreddies.
Yeah.
The worst cereal in the world.
Right.
Shreddies is terrible.
So
My dad loved Shreddies.
I never ended up with any of the little toys.
I hated it. It literally made me gag, the cereal.
I don't like it either.
But I got the best haul from any cereal box.
Yeah?
I got four Romulan vessels in the same box.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I guess that's worth it, because, like, you hate the cereal.
Oh, I hate the cereal. But I was like, oh, okay, I gotta dig around in here.
Do you remember?
Dig. Yes, got it. Hey, there's a little piece of plastic. Maybe there's the second one.
Were they all just in a blister pack all attached together, or were they separate?
They were attached at the corners.
Okay.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, so like...
I guess they just got stuck and didn't separate like they were supposed to, and the robot just dropped it all in the
So
same
3 boxes didn't get one, and I got 4.
Right.
And I was like, I got a Romulan fleet. Sweet. So I had a Romulan fleet, I had a Ferengi, and I had the Enterprise.
Nice. I never had any. Very sad.
I never got anything cool. I got a spoon that changed color, a curly straw, and a bowl with a straw in it.
And then you had to collect all the UPCs eventually. You had to collect 5 of them to mail away for stuff.
Yeah.
Which was not as good.
That's an older thing, though. They used to do that back in the 30s.
Yeah, I know. But then they brought it back. Do you remember in like 1992, 93, there was, I think it was Hostess chips, and they had the little Star Trek cards for Deep Space Nine and for Next Generation?
Oh, I remember Hostess chips having weird stuff in them.
Yeah, I've still got a whole pile of those. But you don't see prizes inside of anything anymore.
Yeah. Although, you know
Even
what?
Cracker Jacks.
Yeah, it's a sticker now or something.
Yeah, it's a little joke thing.
I had a weird whistle that came out of a Cracker Jacks box.
Yeah.
It was a ring whistle.
No
Cracker Jacks used to be awesome.
It was great. It made such an irritating, high-pitched siren sound.
Because you saw not First Contact. You saw First... Oh, why do I keep saying First? Contact. Just Contact with Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
And the whole thing was the Cracker Jack box had the compass that Jodie Foster took on her mission.
Yeah.
Yes, and I remember watching that 20 years ago, thinking, I never saw a prize like that. Even
No,
back
you
then.
never-
Maybe when I was super young, there was prizes.
When I was young, there were prizes in Cracker Jack boxes.
Yeah, but
Like, even I got a prize from a Cracker Jack box, but I only got the one, and shortly after it all turned into, like, just like a little jokes thing. You know, like Hubba Bubble Bubble Gum, but it wouldn't give you... Or, sorry, not...
Bazooka Joe with the
Bazooka
comics?
Joe comic, yeah.
Do they still make that?
I don't know. The gum was terrible and cut into your gums.
It was terrible. and hard.
But yeah, the only thing that I've seen cereals still give away is Cheerios. I think you have to mail away from it, but you get a package of wildflower seeds, and the attempt is to bring back the bees.
Oh yes, yes, you're right.
I think that's really neat.
I bought cereal.
I like flowers.
I bought cereal the other day, and if you send you 2 UPC cards, you get a $5 gas card.
See, that's boring.
It is boring, but it's $5 in gas.
I guess I don't drive though, so it would do nothing for me.
Do nothing for you.
That's what, a liter?
Well, currently, for the historians, in Canada, here in Timmins, gas is $1.45.9 per liter right now.
Ugh.
Yeah. And Tim Hortons coffee for a medium is $1.77 with the tax.
So we just need a way to make cars run on coffee.
No, because coffee's more expensive.
Yeah, per liter, currently.
Maybe you could drink it. If your car breaks down, you just stick a hose
Siphon the gas tank for
Yeah.
your coffee? Yeah, you could do that. So there's another talking about prizes inside. Yeah, right on. So that brings us near the end of this week's issue of the Rusted Robot Podcast, the one with the prize inside. Maybe that'll be the title. I don't know. Maybe I'll just call this episode Wolfman's Got Nards. But I don't think anybody would subscribe or download to that because that's gross. So do you have any final closing thoughts that you'd like to bring up or mention?
So, what's the best toy you ever got from the box?
Oh, it's been 30 years since I've got...
Oh, come on. You had to think, like, that moment.
It might have been Frosted Flakes, and either I got it from the box or I had to mail away for it, but it was some kind of dinky car with tiger stripes.
That's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
I might still have it somewhere, actually.
I used to love the dinky cars.
Yeah. But I can't remember if I had to mail away for it or if it was in the box.
I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly or not, but there was one of those little throwing discs that came in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they had shaped this one, it kind of looked like a Ninja Star.
Ooh.
So that was the best one I ever got. With this little throwing disc that had a Ninja Star pattern cut out of it.
Right on.
That thing was awesome, and I ended up cutting off the lip.
Uh-oh.
So I just had the Ninja Star of sharp plastic.
So
That's amazing.
You got rid of the safety ring around it.
Well, it wasn't a ring. It looked like a Frisbee, a tiny 4-inch Frisbee.
Okay.
That they stamped out the shape.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So that it'd have just cutouts.
Yeah.
But if you just continue the edge and just cut with scissors.
All right, I see.
Then you had a Ninja Star.
Yeah.
And that thing would go into an apple from 10 feet away.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I got real good with that thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Then I hit my friend with it and I lost it.
Oh.
That sucks.
That's sad.
But yeah, that was, I think it was a snowflake actually rather than a Ninja Star now that I think about it.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah.
You're a precious snowflake.
Ninja of the North.
Yeah. So, Katie, what's the best thing you ever got from a...
Cracker Jack's box at Siren Whistle.
That's it?
Yeah, because remember I had the option of
yeah.
like spoons that changed color,
Yeah.
a swirly straw, and a bowl with a straw in it.
That's unfortunate.
All of those things suck. Also, the bowl with the straw in it, I think, came in Lucky Charms, so you could drink the... No, it came in like a Nesquik cereal or something.
Yeah, could be.
So that you could drink
The
you
chocolate
would drink
milk.
the chocolate milk out of the bottom of the bowl. But the thing was, because the bowl took up so much space, I got less of the only kick-ass cereal that there was.
Oh, sadness.
And like, I just tip up my bowl anyway, like any normal person.
I would like to hear from our listeners. Tell us, what was the thing from the cereal bowl that made you go that way?
What was the best prize inside that you ever received?
Not just the best. The thing that made you go
Yeah, the one you liked the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, or shocked you, or...
The thing that brought pure surprise and joy.
Yeah.
It may not be the thing that long-term you liked the most.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the 4 Romulans was the deep inhale for me.
Yeah.
But the star was by far the best.
Of course. So share with us your prize inside stories. Email us, therustedrobot@gmail.com, or you could just tweet us like Daniel Hitch often does, at therustedrobot on Twitter. You can write us on our Facebook page or our Facebook group, which you should also join. So that concludes issue 205 of the Rusted Robot Podcast. We appreciate your support, your tweeting of the links, your sharing with your friends and family. Thanks for all the 5-star reviews. And remember, in the immortal words of Leonard Nimoy, the miracle is this: the more we share, the more we have. This has been another episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. You can contact us by emailing therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweeting us at therustedrobot. Visit our website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. And, if you would, please check us out and like us on Facebook. A 5-star review in iTunes is appreciated. The Rusted Robot podcast was written, produced, scored, edited, engineered, and directed by Sean Vanderloo. Your co-host was Josh Montney. Don't forget to visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall and listen to our other show, the Soulforge Podcast. Visit Sean on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
Dude, what are you doing to all the cereal?
I'm looking for a cereal box prize, and there is none. And I'm a bit pissed.
The Go-Go Puffs has a prize in it.
Dude, an interactive CD-ROM with an episode of Friends on it is not a prize. It's nonsense. What happened to all the good stuff you used to find in cereal? Like secret decoder rings, and then, little metal toys.
I think they stopped putting secret decoder rings and metal toys in cereal boxes in, the 1940s.
Oh, come on! That was the best part about cereal!
Yeah, I used to like those nifty prizes, too. Huh. Just another forgotten nicety from times gone by.
If I came out with a cereal, I'd make damn sure every box had a kick-ass secret decoder ring in it, so folks can decode all sorts of secret phony cult messages during breakfast. That'd be cool.
No one is gonna want cereal made by a foul-mouthed squirrel.
Oh, come on, dude. Think of the ads. Foamy Flakes, the only cereal with a 3-to-1 sugar-to-cereal ratio.
Do you really want foamy fans bouncing off the walls because they're on some sort of sugar high?
Hey, it's either that or crack. And putting crack in every box is gonna get real expensive, real fast.
Sugar it is, then.
It's good for your teeth!
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.